Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Motivate You with June Archer. Today, my guest is a phenomenal young man, and we're going to get right into this interview. A routine tackle turned into a life-threatening injury, and nothing has been normal ever since that day. He is not only a motivational speaker, but he is an author of a book which you guys have to get. It's called Inky Johnson, An Amazing Story of Faith and Perseverance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, my guy, Inky Johnson.
Hey, what's going on, June? Thanks a lot, man, for having me on. It's a true honor.
Man, the honor is all mine. I am excited. We're going to dive right into this interview. As you know, a few minutes before we got on air, man, the devil was a lie. We're trying to figure this thing out, but now we're here rocking and rolling. I want to ask you, as we talk about the devil and trying to move forward in life, and you know, we just started the new year for a couple of weeks ago. For you had some adversity. You were at Tennessee playing football, something that you love. I want you to just give us a little piece of that history up to that point on who Inky Johnson is and what happened when you got to that point when you ran into that brick wall.
Absolutely. Man, I played football. You know, I started playing when I was 7. It had been my dream my whole life to go to the NFL, and I got really close. You know, I was blessed with a scholarship to the University of Tennessee. My junior year, going into that year, I was a projected first-round draft pick. And the second game of my junior year, I went to make a tackle I had made over 1,000 times. I hit the guy. And that night, I found myself in the emergency room, man, fighting for my life. Went through several surgeries, and I came out on the other end of it with a paralyzed right arm and hand. And one of my last doctor's visits, man, the doctor came in the room and he was like, man, I'm so sorry about what happened to you, Ink. I know how much the game meant to you. I know how close you were to accomplishing your dream. And he said, I hate to tell you, but you probably will never be able to use that arm or hand again in the rest of your life. And I just told him, I said, no disrespect to you, doc, but I will use my arm and hand every day for the rest of my life by the way that I live my life. And so every day I just try to use the things that I encounter to be a blessing to other people. I firmly believe, June, you know, our lives are controlled by one force, and that's our decisions. And every day I make the decision to use the things that I encounter to be a blessing or a source of inspiration, motivation, encouragement to other people. So I dedicated my life to service.
So when you were in the hospital after that incident, what was going through your mind? What did you tell yourself on that table? I know what you said to the doctor, but what were you, honestly, to yourself, what were you thinking? Were you thinking, man, Inky, this might be it based on what he was saying, or did you lean on something stronger than yourself?
Oh, man, in that moment, there was so many emotions and thoughts, you know, because here you are in a place where, you know, something you've been doing your whole life. And now you get to a point where they're telling you can't do it anymore. And this was the thing that I grew up 2-bedroom home, 14 people. You know, this was the thing that was supposed to help my family. And so when you get hit with that, you're thinking, man, the only thing I knew for sure, June, was I wasn't giving up. No matter what the outcome was of the situation, I wasn't going to quit and I wasn't going to give up. And so with that, I knew every day I just had to put one foot in front of the other, man, and keep moving forward.
Who did you look to for inspiration at that time? Because you have a lot of young people who are on that same path as you, and their family and friends are waiting for them to get to the league, as I'm sure was a situation with you. But when you hit that roadblock, when you came to that fork in the road where, all right, this may not be a reality any longer, who rallied around you, or did you find yourself having to rally around them to let them know, listen, I'm going to be all right, we're going to be all right? Or was there one person or persons that said to you, man, it don't even matter, Inky, like, we're here for you? And what did they say?
Oh, man, I got some amazing people in my life, from my friends, you know, to my family members. You know, God has blessed me with an amazing support staff. And so I had people around me, man, that, you know, were constantly pouring into me. And also, I think the way I responded, it kind of helped them. But what meant the most to me, man, was the people that invested in me and believed in me and saw something in me when I couldn't see it in myself. I think if I had to pick one thing that was my driving force outside of my faith and my creator, I think that would be it. You know, the people that believed in me, you know, the people that saw things in me when I couldn't see it in myself. I couldn't give up because I felt it would be disrespectful to their sacrifices and to their investment. And so for that reason, that alone got me up out of the hospital bed. That alone got me back in class. that alone put me back on the path that I was on to finish what I started, graduating college. The people that believed in me, man, I had to give them a return on their investment.
So what do you say to the young football player who's at Tennessee now, who's playing college, wherever they're playing, who has a season-ending or a career-ending injury, who may not have that support system? What do you tell them?
Man, the thing that I would tell them is, you know, if you went at the game and you gave it everything that you had, you know, making it to the NFL is not so much important. You know, it may be inconsequential in God's plan for your life. But if you were blessed to be able to play the game, appreciate that and extract the lessons that the game gave you, extract the work ethic, extract the dedication, the commitment, you know, the sacrifice, the camaraderie, extract that from the game and apply it to your everyday life. And if you win at the game right, the process of the game right, it will carry you over into every other aspect of your life and make you successful.
There are a few profound things that you share with audiences all across the country. You talk about work ethic. I want you to share with the viewers and the listeners today. There's a story that you have about Navy SEALs. I want you to kind of just give us your piece on what you share with people about Navy SEALs and their work ethic.
Oh man, the Navy SEALs, they're incredible. You know, and when I got injured, a group of Navy SEALs came to see me. And they was just telling me this thing about how they make up in their mind before the mission that they're going to complete the mission. And to me, it was incredible because, you know, they set out on these missions all across the world and they make up in their mind that they're going to complete the mission, you know, before they even set out on the journey. So really, whatever they encounter on the journey, if it does not kill them, it will not stop them. Meaning, if they lose a leg, an arm, a finger, whatever the case may be, June, if it does not take their life, they're going to complete their mission. And so they're making up in their mind, they're setting up themselves for victory before they set out on the journey of whatever it is they're trying to accomplish. And so I take that and apply it to my everyday life. Before I set out on a journey to attack a goal or a dream, I make up in my mind that I'm going to be victorious and no opposition or adversity or circumstances won't stop me if it does not take my life. And I took that same approach to my injury. It didn't take my life. I got a paralyzed right arm and hand out of it, but I didn't die. And so I'm still here. And so it paralyzed my right arm and hand. It didn't paralyze my mindset. It didn't paralyze my heart. It didn't paralyze my spirit. The only thing it did is like that quote, June, that says, you know, I got scars and these scars are a representation of life trying to penetrate me and stop me, but it couldn't.
Right. No, I love it. Listen, we had the pleasure and it was a blessing to work with you at the 100 Men of Color Gala and Awards in Hartford, Connecticut last fall. And one thing that stood out that night that I know changed my life, and it's something that you talk about every day, is one of your hashtags, empty the bucket. Please, if you would, just bless us with how you came up with that and what people could take from that and apply to their lives.
Oh man, to empty the bucket, you know, just to share with you all the depth of it. You know, the foundation of empty the bucket is originated from the Colossians 3:23 in the Bible. And it says, do all things if you're doing it for the Lord and not for man. And if you do all things if you're doing it for the Lord and not for man. Now I firmly believe you don't get caught up in the validation of people. And so from that empty the bucket, I believe in giving everything you got to every aspect of your life. Meaning, I believe as a man, my wife deserves the best version of me. I believe as a father to my children, we have 2 children, they deserve the best version of me. I believe the gift that God has blessed me with to be able to serve the people that I'm of service to, they deserve the best version of me. But I bring it full circle with this. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. And so by giving everything you got to every aspect of your life, the harder you work in your marriage, the harder it is it's going to be to quit. The harder you work in your relationship with your creator, the harder it is for you to get off track. The harder you work in your relationship with your kids, the harder it is for you to have that separation where you can't connect with your kids. And so it's about giving everything you got to every aspect of your life and taking pride in it.
Oh, man. Inky, let me tell you something. When you talk about family and what you have to do, I know that you had a very major impact on my children when they met you. They ask about you all the time. So I know that to be true. What things are you doing at Tennessee now that you could tell us about? Because I know you give back, but what are some programs that you're working on, things that you're doing now, so people could kind of look out for those things?
Oh man, I do a lot of work, of course, with college athletics. I got my master's in sports psychology, and so I work with the team very closely. But me and my wife, we also do a lot of things with our foundation. You know, in the schools in Knoxville and in Atlanta, we do this thing where we got to overcome an adversity scholarship, and so we have kids to write essays and do things like that. We've adopted a couple of homeless shelters for women and children. We go in, we do a couple of different programs, whether it be on thought process, decision making, you know, conversations, hanging around the right type of people, the dialogues that you have and being cognizant of it. And so I'm wrapped up in a little bit of everything, man, from sports to homeless people to corporate companies, you know, just trying to be the best individual that I can be and serve, June. You know, I really believe, man, we've been put on this earth to serve. Martin Luther King has a quote: life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help other people? And a lot of people, more times than not, they want to do things that can benefit them. They're never of service to other people. And that's why they never receive the blessings that they're supposed to receive or reach the potential that they're able to reach, because they don't go out and serve and it's just about them. And if it's just about you, you'll fall short every time.
Because it's not about you.
Not, man.
And as you mentioned, Martin Luther King, we have to congratulate you on that award.
Oh, man, congratulate you, man.
Man, listen, like you said, it's not about you. So it's not. It is about the service. I want to dig a little, just a little deeper, if I can, and I want to ask you: is there anyone in your past, whether it was, because I know you talk about your uncle and a lot of things that you talk about in your speeches, but is there one thing that you could share today that had an impact on your life, that someone kind of poured into you, that has helped you throughout adversities, helped you through college, to help you go back and finish your degree after being injured, to being a motivational speaker and going on the road and being a husband and a father?
Oh man, man, there's so many, June, that, you know, one of the most profound things that happened to me when I was a young kid, my uncle, who I talk about, who used to pour concrete, and he still does for a living, and he would take us to work with him on some Saturdays, you know, to give us a couple of dollars. And, you know, every Saturday that I went with him, he would always give me the jackhammer, and I was the youngest. And, you know, all of my older cousins, they would just be playing around. And when he gave me this jackhammer, it whooped me almost every Saturday. I would be crying because I couldn't master it, had snot running from my nose. And one Saturday, I threw the jackhammer down, went up to him. I said, man, why do you always give me this jackhammer? And he said, look at your cousins. And all of them, they were cramped up. You know, they had quit. They was asking for pickle juice. And he said, the reason I give you the jackhammer is because I see something in you that I don't see in them. And he said, I want you to feel that manual labor so you'll never have to do manual labor another day in your life. And just him investing in me and seeing something in me, you know, at such a young age, when I didn't see it in myself, it had a profound impact on my life. And I live my life to make him proud. Even until this day, I'm big on sacrificing. I'm big on when people see things in me and I can't see it in myself, on honoring that.
Oh man, that's beautiful. So for the people watching and listening right now, where can we find you on social media? You know, give us your website so we can check you out, please. Absolutely. And where will you be coming up next couple of weeks?
Oh man, I'm at Inky Johnson on all social media platforms: Instagram, Periscope, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, at Inky Johnson. My website is www.inkyjohnson.com. And the next couple of weeks, man, I'm in Florida twice this week. Tomorrow I'm at Florida State. Friday I'm in Palm Beach with Aflac. Saturday I'm in Tennessee doing some work, and then I kick off the year at Eastern Carolina. I'm at kickoff February at Eastern Carolina University, and that same night I'm at Georgia Tech, and then I'm at Norfolk State. And so, man, we rolling, we working, man.
Busy working, spreading the word, spreading the motivation.
Just trying to put some good vibes out here, June. You know,
we need it now more than ever. And this platform is provided to motivate and inspire as many people as we can that are listening and are watching. Please, just before we get out of here, give me something that I could share with this audience that will take them through 2016.
Absolutely.
What is your message for this year?
Oh man, if you want to do something, go do it. You know, because a lot of times I think we spend so much time talking about what we're gonna do that we never get to moving on doing it. And so if you want to do something, go do it, and be like a Navy SEAL. Don't let nothing stop you. You know, complete the mission. Whatever you set out on, one of the greatest pieces of advice that my mother gave me, and my mother didn't have much education, but one of the greatest pieces of advice that my mother ever gave me was, son, whatever you start, you make sure you finish it. And I don't care if you get in the midst of it and you don't like it. I don't care if you don't like the people that are involved. If you start something, you always finish it. And by finishing it, throughout the process of starting something, you learn valuable principles and lessons on the journey, on the chase to greatness that shapes and molds you into the individual that you're destined to become. Now, if you start something and figure out you don't like it and you stop, every time you stop, you set yourself back further and further from your dream and from your potential and what you're capable of doing with your life. And so if you start something, finish it. You know, listen, June, go get it. Like Nike, man, just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. So for you, how many of your dreams have come true, and how many more do you have left?
Oh man, a lot of them have come true, June, but not in the fashion or the way that I thought they would. You know, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is, you know, a lot of things that I set out to do, I had my path and I had my plan, but God had his plan as well, and kind of took me down a different course, and I'm grateful for it, because it shaped and it molded and it grew me into a man that I didn't know that I was capable of becoming. And what I mean by that is, the guy that I am right now, June, I wasn't this guy before my injury. And so when my injury happened, a lot of things happened and a lot of relationships got repaired in my life. And just my faith went to a totally different level, man. And so I'm always growing, you know, always got dreams, always. And my dreams are not like most people, June. And what I mean by that is, I have dreams of the father that I want to be. Like, I think I'm a great father right now, but I have dreams of the father that I want to be 10 years from now. I have dreams of the husband that I want to be 20 years from now. Like, I got those type of dreams, long term, to where I want to hold my family together first. You know what I mean? I want my family to be intact. I want to be the leader that God has called me to be. Like, I want my children, when I'm 70 years old, they can come over me and my wife's house and we kick it on the front porch. Like, those are the type of dreams that I have.
Legacy.
That's what it's about, man.
Oh man, Inky, listen, before we get out of here, because we know you're busy, they say music is a soundtrack to life. What is your theme music?
Oh man, that Hall of Fame, the script Hall of Fame, man, I love that song. And it talks about, you know, you could basically be anything you want to be. You could be the greatest, you could be the best. You know, you could be a hero, you could be a preacher, you could be a teacher. And it's just talking about going to get it, man. And so the script, Hall of Fame, that's my favorite song.
Oh man, listen, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Inky Johnson, my guest today on Motivate You with June Archer. Inky, I thank you so much for joining us today, man. It was great. This is not going to be the last conversation we have. We're going to be pouring into people, and I'm looking forward to doing some more work with you, not only here, but all across this globe, man. I know we got some things to say. Anybody you want to shout out before we get out of here?
Oh man, much love to you, your family, your kids, man. Got a beautiful family. I thank God for my wife and my family. And man, just grateful, man. Just want to say, you know, I'm grateful to be on the show. Much love to everybody that's watching, and God bless.
Man, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Motivate You with June Archer. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Amen.